Hello Roblox developers, today I will show you how to make a basic inventory system. So let's start with making simple blocks which will represent the items which we will pick up. We want to make them lifelike. Let's make wood and stone or rock. Then we're gonna use attributes to create a type of object. We will need a string and we will name it item type. And in the item type we will name the type of the object, which is wood for this one and stone for this one. I'm gonna start with the boring part, like making the backend. So we're gonna make the basics of a data store loading system, but I'm not gonna make loading system at this moment. So we're gonna make a new script and name it data store. And I'm gonna paste some code which will explain. So we're gonna make a folder in server storage named data store, which will store all of the players' data. I'm gonna make a new function which will load the player's data. So when any player connects, then we're gonna run this code. When a player joins, it's gonna run this code. I'm gonna make a separate function for it, so it will, because we're gonna use it multiple times in separate locations. So I will name it loading player function, and as an input we will put the player object. Then we will check. I'm gonna check if the player folder, if there is a player folder already, so we're not gonna make any duplicates. And if we find a player's folder, then we're gonna destroy it. So we can start from the blank slate. If there is no player's folder, we're gonna make a new folder which we will place in the data store server storage folder which we just created. When a player joins, it will create a new folder and place it in this server storage data store folder, and we'll name it player's user ID. Then we have to make some variables which we will store. First of all, we're gonna make items folder and place it in the player's inventory. This folder will hold all of the items the player has at this moment. We're also gonna make some stats. The first stat is current weight. This is gonna show the player's current weight, which we will use to restrict the item pickups if the weight is higher than the maximum weight. Then I'm gonna add slot requirements, which is gonna work very similarly to the weight, but it will have a different stat. I will not visualize the slot sizes at this moment. It will work just as the weight at this moment. So the player joins and creates all of these folders, which will be blank. And I'm gonna leave it at that. In the future I will improve this script, which will save and load players' data. Now, we have sometimes when you play in Studio, it fails to run this function player added, because the server is created very fast and the function doesn't fire. So I'm gonna check if are you playing from the game or from the studio by using this line of code. If you're playing from studio, if you're not playing from studio, then I'm just gonna run this event and load the player normally. If you are not like this, if you're playing in studio, then we will get the first player and it will work always, and it will load and create all of the basic folders. Now I'm gonna make some modules in the server script service location. Create a modules folder. Now I'm gonna make a module script and I'm gonna name it items. This will hold all of the items that you will have in the game. I'm gonna make 2 items like we've created at the start of this video. I'm gonna make wood and stone. So I'm gonna make a new table with the key wood. If you request this module with wood input, you can select any of this stat, which is very easy to do. And it's a great idea to use these modules like that, because you can just edit one variable in here and it will change it everywhere. It's very convenient this way. So we're gonna make a variable name, weight, how many slots it takes, value, which we're not gonna use at this moment, but let's just stick to it, max stacks, which I'm gonna make in the future, and then icon ID. And I'm also gonna make stone. Now that we have defined our items, I'm gonna start making the proximity events. How we will interact with the world. I'm gonna change the part names here, just so it's more clear. And I'm gonna add proximity prompts. Now we have to interact with these prompts, and I'm gonna make a new script which will help us to do that. I will name it, I will create a a script here and name it prompts. We're going to need proximity prompt service and prompt range to check. This is mainly used for anti-cheat, so the players, and we check the distance between the player and the prompt object on the server side, not only just on the client. Then I'm gonna make a new function on prompt triggered. When the player triggers a prompt, it will send a prompt event, which is gonna be listened by this object. Then, if a prompt is triggered, then we need to check the distance. Is the player within the range? We're gonna use this player input output object. We're gonna get the player's character humanoid root part, which is the central point of the player position, minus the destination. Prompt object will be this thing, little thing, not the part, not the base part. So we need to set the parent position, and magnitude is like it converts from vectors coordinates into a length number, so it's like a distance. If the distance is less than maximum prompt range, then we do other stuff. We can just add a print to see if the prompt works correctly. And then I'm gonna start to add the logic behind the whole system. I'm gonna make a new module, which I will call inventory manager. Inventory manager will be our bread and butter of the whole thing. So first of all, we need to have our items. We get the item list from the modules folder, from this script. Then we will need to get the server inventory location, which will be data store. Then I'm gonna add a new service, HTTP, which is just gonna be used for generating a random text, which will be unique. So we're gonna make the first function, which will add objects to your inventory. We're gonna need a object which was interacted and the player to add the item to. I'm gonna print the object which was interacted. Then we will get the item type from the prompt object, which we set down here. This name will be used to interact with this part of the module, and we can get anything from here. So it has to be this. It has to be a name in here. If you don't have anything, it will error. So now let's go back to inventory manager. Next, I'm gonna get the item slots variable from the items module. I'm gonna use the item type from before, and I'm gonna get slots variable, this one. I'm gonna put slots and get 2 here. Then I'm gonna get the weight, and then we will find the player's inventory. But before that, we need to check if the data store is creating our default folders. So let's start the game. Now, if you go to the server source, there will be nothing because you're playing on a client. We need to change the server mode to see if it worked. So you can see it created a folder with my user ID. Then we have slots, max weight, max slots, current weight, and so on. So everything works fine, and the items folder which is empty. So we can continue forwards. Now I'm gonna check if the player has enough space and slots. So we're gonna get player inventory max weight dot value. It's gonna use those values we just saw before. It's gonna get that. It's gonna figure out how much free slots, free weight do we have. If the free weight is more than the item we want to pick up, then, and the same with slots, then it will allow to pick up the item. So first we're gonna destroy the wood item, for example, increase the weight and slots values, and then create a new folder, new item, and the name to generate the name, we're gonna use that HTTP generate GUID, which will make random symbols and numbers. It will make every item name unique, which will be useful in the later videos. Then we place it into that player's inventory folder. After that, we need to we need to tell what type of the item we just picked up. So we're gonna make these values, name them item type, and the values item type, which we just got from the prompt objects, like attributes that it was down there. And what is left is to add the item amount in object. And that's it for the start. So let's test out if we can get the items. We're gonna pick up stone and see if it errors. Prompt triggers, but did it work? We need to see here. It didn't work, so we need to see what happened. Oh, we didn't add the inventory management function into the prompts, so I'm gonna add this line here. We're gonna get the inventory management module, and then we're gonna run it, and we trigger the prompt. And let's test it out. It should destroy the object. Yes, it works. And now let's see, did it add the items? We can see they created random symbols and inside we can see the item amount and the type. Same here. And current slots is now 4 and weight is free. Is redefined here. How much they take. So server side works now. Thank you for watching and subscribe for more Roblox tutorial videos.